What's happening, Munchers? It's me, Shreyas, your OG Muncher, and we're back with another Venom Carnage video. Before we get into the meat of everything plot breakdown related, here's a quick update. Like the Marvel movies and the universe, which is officially called the MCU, Sony, with all the back and forth of exclusivity of certain characters and now sharing of characters, they've christened their establishment too. And no, it doesn't sound as good or as clean as MCU. It's PAMAC, or Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters. Yup, you heard and saw right. So from the title announcement to everything else we know about our not-so-friendly neighborhood symbiotes, we've put together a possible plot. This comes from Reddit and some other supposedly accurate sources. If you missed our earlier video, do check that out before we all fall into this limbo of speculation. So let's begin. But wait, spoiler alert, in case we get anything too accurate or something, wink wink. So in the ending of the first movie, we remember that Venom survives the blast since he's still bonded with Eddie. Now did Riot survive too? The symbiote's weaknesses are sound and fire, but they affect different symbiotes differently, and it also depends on their hosts, which is why some symbiotes hop more often than others to find their perfect bond. In the post-credit scene, we see Eddie in San Quentin prison to interview Cletus Cassidy, where he's serving 11 life sentences. We covered his violent streak in our earlier video, and that was before any bonding with an alien. In the source material, Carnage is born from Venom. In the movie, if they go word for word, Venom's offspring can attach itself to the blood, possibly on the wall that says "Welcome Eddie." But as we've seen in almost all superhero movies, certain details are changed either to fit the script better, to make something look visually better, or just something else for significance. It basically dials down to the fact that comics and animated series are very different media and also pertain to different audiences. So here they could go a couple of ways. One is, they may still be experimenting with symbiotes like we saw they were doing at the Life Foundation. Carnage is very much dead, sure, but maybe his twisted legacy lives on. Like they experimented on homeless people, maybe they're using Cletus as another test subject. We even remember from Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield and Jamie Foxx who played Electro. Once in prison, Electro was being experimented on at Ravencroft Institute, the same place where, in the comics, Eddie and Cletus meet, and that's how Carnage is born. Or it could be simpler, and that interaction in the post-credit scene might just be ground zero for the symbiote to bond with Cletus, and that's how we get our very red, very scary, crazy symbiote. We broke down a few scenes from the Morbius trailer in our previous video, where baddies are getting together and it could potentially lead to the forming of the infamous Sinister Six. Because of the rescheduling of the movies, Morbius now comes out before Venom in 2021. So during the prison riot that Vulture, Scorpion and Morbius are involved in, Cletus, assuming he's in that very same prison, makes a break for it and probably runs into Frances, who we know is a mutant Shriek. She's being played by Naomi Harris. Since the first movie took some time to build Venom and for Eddie Brock to finally give in, maybe Carnage doesn't feature much or at all during this escape. And so, the escaping via Vulture and co, who we saw meeting up with Morbius in their prison get-ups, is more probable, and Cletus and Frances probably end up helping each other escape. We've seen leaked set photos and clips showing Cletus in a red Hawaiian shirt sporting a skull necklace with a much better wig and getting shot at by an officer. Now get a close look here at how Woody Harrelson is responding to getting sprayed with bullets. With CGI, that's possibly how Carnage first shows up and Cletus realizes that a symbiote has bonded with him. Even in the first movie, a very similar setup where Eddie is being chased by the Life Foundation security force, Venom doesn't fully reveal himself but protects Eddie with tendrils sprouting here and there, resulting in some seriously cool, kick-ass, action-crazy set pieces. Once Carnage is realized in full along with Shriek, they're absolutely gonna tear the city apart and just go bonkers, wreaking havoc. The very definition of Carnage is the killing of a large number of people. From the comics, the bond between Carnage and Cassidy is stronger than the bond between Brock and Venom. And so, as a result, Carnage is far more violent, powerful, and deadlier than Venom. But Venom can still hold his own if not take on Carnage. Now what about the other symbiotes? Are they involved? Will they be featured? We remember how Riot absorbs Venom and becomes bigger in the first movie. With Carnage's cannibalistic tendencies, there could be a lot of eating other symbiotes and becoming, in essence, giant Carnage. Maybe at this point, Eddie reaches out to Peter Parker. How, you ask? With Eddie's investigative journalism skills and with the whole world knowing who Spider-Man is from Far From Home in the post-credits scene, Spidey might have gone into hiding, but Eddie is able to track him down and seek his help. Peter Parker has a history with this homeless shelter called Feast, which stands for Food Emergency Aid Shelter and Training. It is owned and operated by a certain Martin Lee, or Mr. Negative, another baddie, and serves as a place of employment for Aunt May and is also where Miles Morales volunteers. Now, this shelter is in San Francisco, which is where the current Venom movies in Sony's universe is based in. It's interesting to also note that the sequel to the hugely successful Spider-Man on PS4 by Sony is based on Miles Morales. And finally, J. Jonah Jameson's son John Jameson is an astronaut for the Life Foundation and does have an indirect history with the symbiotes. In the comics, John pilots the shuttle in which the symbiotes are stowaways, and that's how they get to our blue planet. Now, this does sound way too far-fetched to happen all in one movie, so this could be Venom 3 or other future Venom movies. But can you at least feast your eyes on a teensy weensy mention, a shout out, or something? Come on, give us something, Spamak. Why we're going there is because of the enigmatic Tom Hardy and his tomfoolery. Leading up to the release of his debut as the anti-hero Venom, he posted on Instagram to stir some serious shit up. A post that just shows a crest that says Home for Unwanted Children. Now this is from St. Estes Home for Boys. We know that Cassidy is a sociopath and a homicidal sadist. He is a deeply disturbed individual with a dark past. As a child, he killed his grandmom by pushing her down a flight of stairs and even tried to murder his mother. Now self-orphaned, Cassidy is sent to the St. Estes Home for Boys orphanage, where his antisocial behavior makes him the target of a lot of abuse from other orphans and staff alike. Cassidy ends up murdering the administrator, even pushes a girl who rejects him in front of a moving bus, and finally burns down the orphanage. Here is what our slickster Tom Hardy posted to tease future Venom developments. Yup, that's Venom crunching. Yes, I'm saying crunching on our beloved webhead. Of course, it was deleted almost as instantly as it was posted, but the super sleuths of the internet not only screen grabbed it, but went further to complete the vision of that unholy and crazy post. Holy moly, so yeah, what do you guys think the title means for the plot? Do you think Spidey will feature or at least be mentioned in the sequel? We can't wait for all this goodness and to see what the plot turns out to be. Venom is out June 2021 and we're exactly a year out. So yeah, let's have it. Let there be carnage. But remember, we are Venom. As always, thanks for watching. Do all that good stuff and do subscribe for more geeky stuff. Take care everyone. That's all from me. This is OG Muncher Shreyas signing off.